Today's video, let's talk a bit about Cartethyia, Lupa, and specifically Doom posting trend before these two characters eventually release. I don't think I need to make a long explanation as for why I make this video because I can already tell that when Kuro actually posts Cartethyia kit, it's gonna create more drama. Why? Because she is an arrow unit, and you can see the pattern here where some of these Ruinacita characters utilize negative statuses in order for them to function, and the newest unit that we have right now that also sparks some drama is obviously Zani due to her dependency with Spectre Frazzle. And guess what's gonna happen with Cartethyia? Obviously it's gonna be the same shit with Zani again. Why? Because of course she's gonna use arrow erosion 100%. Am I looking at a leak or something? No, I think it's just pretty obvious. There is no reason for them to put arrow erosion into Rover's kit, even though he is a healer here, if there is no other unit that gains benefit from arrow erosion. The same thing with Spectre Frazzle. The reason why they incorporate it into Spectre Rover's kit is because we're gonna have characters that going to utilize it, and Spectre Rover here is gonna be the F2P options. And guess who is gonna be the premium characters for arrow erosion here? Ciaccona. I'm just gonna call her Ciaccona here, and maybe Tia for Cartethyia because her name is such a tongue twister. And I hope Kuro stops making characters' name starts with C. Now, some people might be thinking to skip Ciaccona here after looking at 2.4 trip marketing, and I'm telling you it's not gonna be an easy skip because Ciaccona is gonna be for Cartethyia the same way Phoebe is with Zani. Because if we take a look at her kit, which you can see by your own in the game here by clicking the gallery menu over here, almost all of her attacks, whether it's basic attack, her forte, her ultimate, all apply arrow erosion. Is she the main DPS or maybe Cartethyia here is actually the support? Unfortunately, no, because if we see her second sequence here, she buffs arrow damage by 40% during her ultimate, so she's without a doubt is gonna be GN or more specifically Tia based in slot support. So again, right, Cartethyia is without a doubt gonna spark another drama here with Ciaccona, and I can see it miles away because she gonna have the same issue as Zani. So the big question is her F2P options, which is Arrow Rover here, is gonna be enough for Cartethyia to function properly? And I think the answer is, it depends. If Cartethyia cannot generate arrow stacks by her own, it's gonna be a big problem here because Arrow Rover here also cannot generate arrow stacks by themselves, so we still need another character to apply the negative status. Let's say Phoebe or maybe Cantarella for Havoc Bane, and obviously the best options is gonna be Ciaccona. But I don't know why, I'm pretty sure Cartethyia can deal damage by her own even without these premium characters here. So I hope all the Doom posting will be proven wrong once again, because if not, this might be the worst unit for Anniversary. So I'm telling you this early right now because we are still in the middle of the patch. You have plenty of times to make decision before you actually pulling or skipping Ciaccona. Ciaccona is gonna be 100% Cartethyia support. If you have enough asteroids, you should pull for both of them. If you don't have enough, I don't think you should worry that you cannot use Cartethyia because we still have Arrow Rover. That being said, if you skip both Phoebe and Ciaccona, it's gonna be a bit complicated to clear the endgame content here because you have to split Rover into both Zani and Cartethyia. So eventually you have to pull either Phoebe or Ciaccona here if you want to use both Zani and Cartethyia at the same time for TOA and WutheringWaves. Moving on to Lupa. Is she gonna be the new fusion DPS power creep Changli? Or is she gonna be a support for Changli and Bran here? The answer is, I'm not even sure. But if you take a look at the outro buff from Changli and Bran here, they are not even connected with each other, right? For example, like Bran here, he buffs resonance skill damage, which means he's a good support for Changli, right? Because Changli's forte heavy attack is considered as resonance skill damage. But then again, if we take a look at Changli's outro, she buffs resonance liberation, and that thing does absolutely nothing to Bran because the damage for Bran's resonance liberation, it just doesn't even exist, right? Bran's main damage output is from his anchor, which considered as basic attack damage. So again, there is still no character that could utilize Changli's outro buff to its full potential. So there is a possibility that Lupa is gonna fill this spot here. And the cool thing is, if it's actually true that she's a character with resonance liberation damage, that means she's gonna be another sub DPS and not a healer. And assuming her auto buffs basic attack damage or maybe resonance skill damage, then Changli's team is gonna be the very first team without an actual healer here like Showkeeper and Verena. And that also means Kuro literally encourages you to play quick swap here, and I'm all in for that. Changli is without a doubt my favorite unit right now because for me, she defines a unique gameplay of WutheringWaves here, which is Quick Swap. And I'm so excited, man, we're gonna have the ultimate Quick Swap team just in the next patch. So if you are not a person who likes to play Quick Swap, or maybe you just hate Changli in general, then yeah, sure, she's probably gonna be an easy skip, just all in for Cartethyia. But if you enjoy Quick Swap Changli just like me, she's definitely 100% priority on the list. But again, by the end of the day, this is still a single player game. Don't let people dictate you how you should enjoy a single player game. Pulling for a 5-star character is never gonna break your account, especially in WutheringWaves here where power creep almost doesn't even exist. Even my Rosia has like 62% crit rate, and I don't give a shit, right? Because people keep telling me that you should have at least 70% crit rate, and I'm not gonna do that, right? Because farming for substats is a pain in the ass. It's just not worth it. I can still clear with like 5k points in WutheringWaves just for the first half, so you don't have to min-max everything to clear content in WutheringWaves, unless Kuro just decides to be a dick or something by increase the HP for these enemies by 100%. But up until now, you don't have to worry about that because the power creep is just really slow. It's been a year already and TOA is still the exact same difficulty as 1.0, which is crazy. And judging from how they handle power creep in PGR, I don't think you really have to worry about not being able to clear TOA or even WutheringWaves here with any 5-star character. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and help you make your decision whether you should pull or not. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I see you guys next time.